जय राम कुंज बिहारी कुंज बिहारी श्रीमद् भगवद गीता भागवत श्रील प्रभुपाद ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये अष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया उत्तम श्लोके भवति नैष्टिकी ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वत देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशकाय मूकं करोति वाचालं मनों लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्री गुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानंद माधवं श्री चैतन्य ईश्वरं हरे ओम तत्सत्। हरे कृष्ण। Very, very thankful to all of you who have come for the Sunday feast. Although there is a slight change in timing, but still people have been able to come. Very grateful. Sunday feast is a common function which happens all over ISKCON, all over all the ISKCON temples of the world, where the congregation devotees, I see very few congregation devotees right now, where the congregation devotees and even the people who are being newly cultivated, they all come once in a month, once in a week rather, to associate with each other. They are all throughout the week, they are spread across various parts of the cities and doing various activities. So once in a week, everybody takes an opportunity to come together, chant Hare Krishna, hear the holy names of the Lord, the name, form, qualities, pastimes of the Lord, and have some wonderful prasadam together. So this is the culture. Sunday feasting is that. We get to hear from each other, we get to hear from very senior devotees, we share our reflections. So the culture in spiritual life is to hear, Shravanam. Those who cannot hear, or those who do not have an inclination to hear, they should forget that they will go back home. There is no chance. We have to walk in the footsteps of Parikshit Maharaj. Even when he was about to die, the activity which he chose to do was to hear. The Sunday feast, or all these centers or temples in the world, they are meant for this one particular reason. That people who are struggling for material existence, they should come and just sit and hear the name, form, qualities, and pastimes of Krishna. That is the purpose. And while hearing, they should be attentive. One cannot do japa while hearing, because when one does japa while hearing, neither they are able to do japa properly, neither they are able to hear properly. So at least let's do one activity properly. And while hearing, we should not just hear and go away. Yeah, I came to the class, something was told, I heard, I went to a very nice class. Hearing means there are 3 stages of hearing: Shravanam, Mananam, and Anudhasanam, Nididhasanam. So Shravanam means we are attentively hearing. At least externally, we should be free of distractions. So one way of hearing attentively is to put your mobile phones silent. I'm also going to do that, because somebody will keep calling since I know. At least for the next 1 hour, 1 hour, 15 minutes, we don't want any disturbance. That is called attentive Shravanam. Mananam means that after I have heard, I will try to meditate upon what I have heard. So therefore, it makes sense to carry a notebook. Whenever you are hearing a lecture, some points in the lecture you will find relevant. So you should note it. And later on, maybe in the evening time or before sleeping, you can have a look at it. Or even without having a look at it, you can just think, what did I hear today? That is called remembrance or manana. When we do that, then whatever we have heard, it comes into our memory permanently. It will never go away. And lastly is Nidhi Dhyasanam. Nidhi Dhyasanam means one tries to apply what they have heard in their life. One tries to apply in their life what they have heard, whatever they heard in the class. Suppose they heard something in the class that one should become a servant of the devotees of Krishna. This is something which they heard. When they heard, they liked it very much. But later on in the night, they are thinking, yeah, I heard that I should serve the devotees. That is manana. And when they actually try to implement it in their life, it becomes nididhyasana. That is the success. So we have to hit all the three stages. Not only we have to hear it at first of all, hearing, we have to do. That means we have to come for the sessions. That is very important. But hearing is not the end. One has to reflect upon what they have heard. That's why every speaker focuses on asking, what are your reflections? That means, did you digest and assimilate something from what you have heard? Or you just came here and opened the share market application in your mobile and became busy? So mananam and then nidhi dhyasana means application. Am I just here to hear and forget, or do I actually have a desire to apply it in my life? So these three stages are very, very important. Only when a particular person does all the three things, then only they progress in bhakti. When we say nashta prayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata seva, simply by hearing from a devotee or simply by hearing about Krishna, all that which is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. How will this happen? Hearing, reflecting, and trying to apply it. Now, hearing attentively also has many angles to discuss. One should not say that I will hear only from an Indian devotee. I will not hear from a foreign person. Or one should not say that only when a foreigner comes to my temple, I'll go and hear. And these Indian people, anyways, I can catch them up and hear from them. This is not right. Similarly, one should not say that I will hear only from Matajis and not from Prabhujis. Similarly, one should not say I will hear only from Prabhujis and not. One should not say that I will hear only from brahmacharis and not from grihasthas, or I will hear from grihasthas and not from brahmacharis. This is not the right attitude. Please understand that when hearing, we are talking about hearing. What are we talking about? We are talking about hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. So it does not matter who is speaking Srimad Bhagavatam. We are here not because of the person who is speaking. We are here because Srimad Bhagavatam is being discussed. Suppose if we announce that in Sunday feast we are no longer going to discuss Srimad Bhagavatam or the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya, instead we are going to discuss, let's say, what is the diet of the president of Russia. Will all of you come? Nobody will come. So you are not coming here because of. Sometimes it happens like that because of the speaker, people come. Suppose if we announce that some Prabhupada disciple is coming, we don't need to send reminders. Everybody will come. But still, we should be very eager to hear from everybody because Srimad Bhagavatam is being discussed. That is Krishna. First aspect. Second aspect of hearing, which I've already explained, it should be done in a distraction-free way. Try to be attentive. The whole day we are hearing so many things, and we have become quite perfect and quite practiced at hearing it from one ear and releasing from another ear. But Bhagavatam class is not meant for that. So today's discussion, now that we have stressed upon this importance of hearing, reflecting, and trying to apply it in the life, towards the end of the session, we will take some reflections. The topic for today's discussion is internal reasons for Lord Chaitanya's appearance. Why we are discussing this? Because on 7th, that is Tuesday, is Gaur Purnima. What is Gaur Purnima? Can someone tell me in brief? Yes, what is Gaur Purnima, sir? Very good. Once my English teacher came to my class and she said, I'm going to teach you phrasal verbs. And then she asked, what is phrasal verb? And then I answered, a verb which is a phrase. And then she told me, get out. So I cannot tell you that. But when I ask you, what is Gaur Purnima? I know it is the appearance of Lord Chaitanya. But why do we celebrate it? That is the question.
We consider Lord Chaitanya as a form of Lord Krishna himself. So we try to meditate upon him that get the purpose.
Get the purpose of what?
Going back to the parents.
Okay, what is the purpose of our life? Answer number one, going back home, back to God. Any other answer?
Servant of Krishna. Servant of Krishna.
Become servant of Krishna. Answer number two. Any other answers?
Be with devotees of Krishna.
Be with devotees of Krishna. Answer number three. Any other answer?
Serve the devotees.
Serve the devotees. Answer number four. So many answers. Any other answer? Understanding Krishna. Answer number five. This is the purpose of your life. Very good. Love Krishna. Answer number six. See, there is so many difference of opinion. Great acharyas, six acharyas, six difference of opinion here. Yes. Actually, all the answers are right. There is no wrong answer which all of you have given. But this going back to Godhead has to be explained in a proper perspective. When people are coming first time to the temple, anybody coming first time today? Okay. Have you come before also? What's your name? Aditya, you've come with whom? Okay. So when people come for the first time, we say, oh, the purpose of life is to come out of this cycle of birth, disease, old age, and death. It's so much miserable. And let's go back home, back to Godhead and be eternally with Krishna. No birth, no disease, no old age, no death. This world is dukkhalayam wa shashvatam. We take that route. But as devotees progress, we want one aspect devotees to understand. What is that aspect? That going back to Godhead is a good desire, but then it should be properly motivated also. Why do I want to go back? If I want to go back to Godhead because I'm fully troubled in my life and I'm very miserable in this dukkhalayam or shashvatam, and when I'll go back to Godhead, I'll get so much of relief, then in such a desire, bhakti is not in the center. The desire to escape the miseries is in the center. Do you agree? This world is dukkhalayam, and when my primary desire is to go back to Godhead, is to escape this dukkhalayam, then the bhakti is not in the center, but the escapism is the formula of my life. So then we will struggle a lot to love Krishna sincerely. Our prime motivation is to get freedom from miseries. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Arto, Artharthi, Jignasu, and Jnani. 4 kinds of people approach him. One who is very distressed, Arto. So we can fall in that category, Gajendra. So we should not, we should a little bit refine our motivation. Now we are a little advanced devotees. So what should be our real motivation? To serve Krishna. Now here in this material world, when someone asks me to serve Krishna, the first question which I ask is, Prabhuji, kab tak service karna? Correct. Prabhuji, thoda cooking seva ke liye aayenge? Yes, aayenge. Kab tak? Book distribution chalenge? Yes, Mataji, aa jayenge. Kab tak? That kab tak question is between me and Krishna. Why do I ask this kab tak question?
You don't consider that as the prime result.
We don't, of course, we don't consider that is the prime job. That is the prime job of my life, to serve Krishna, but we are considering other things as prime job. Yes, that is one reason. Second reason can be
You are not doing from your heart. It's like,
yes, we are not putting our heart and soul into it. That's not the prime purpose of our life. Something else is the prime purpose, almost same. But second and one of the most important reasons is our body has some limitations. We need sleep. We get tired. We have so many other things which are already taking our time. And my lifestyle is such that I can't say no to such things. So I'm stuck. I want to serve Krishna, but I've not had sufficient sleep. I want to serve Krishna. See, first of all, I am not surrendered to Krishna. So much so that I am not able to prioritize my life and strike a nice balance so that I get more and more time for chanting Hare Krishna and reading Bhagavad. That is my disease, material disease. But my second problem is that I have a body. And it cannot go on unlimitedly. See, sometimes we only focus on the negative side. This is one of the practical sides of us. Body has limitations. But I want to serve Krishna unlimitedly. Think about Srila Prabhupada. That kid is telling me, come out. Play. I also want to go out and play. I'm stuck here. So, think about Srila Prabhupada in his final days. He wanted to serve. He was invited to one program and he was so weak that he was not able to walk. And as and when there were some steps to climb the stage, when he was putting his leg on the stairs and the cane, the stick, his hands were shaking, and then he was going to the next step. Again, he's putting the cane, one leg, hands shaking, pulling his body next step. Harishwari Prabhu is standing behind him to see if he's able to climb or not. And then the third step he went, he fell down. He completely collapsed. If Harishwari Prabhu wouldn't have been there, he would have fallen. So Harishwari Prabhu, the personal servant of Prabhupada, he caught Prabhupada. And then when he fell down into the arms of Harishwari Prabhu, Srila Prabhupada, they said that he was not able to breathe properly. But still he told, Harishwari Prabhu immediately suggested, let's go back home. You're not well. Prabhupada said, no, I want to go. Still somehow he went on the stage, he sat down, he smiled, hands shaking, head shaking, he sang Jai Radha Madhav, and he gave the trust. Srila Prabhupada once mentioned that if I did not travel so much to preach, I would have lived for another 10 years. But he sacrificed the time of his life, he sacrificed the energy of his life just for the service of the devotees of Krishna. Service to Krishna is unlimited. Krishna is unlimited. His services are unlimited, but our body and time is not unlimited. But when we will go to the spiritual world, we will have a body which is spiritual, which can do unlimited service to Krishna. Do you appreciate this point? Here, you like very much to make garland. After making 20 garlands, your hands will need some rest. But in spiritual world, you make 50,000 garlands, you don't feel like you need any rest. So this is one of my meditations, that one of the primary reasons why I want to go to the spiritual world is that in spiritual world, I can do unlimited service to Krishna, infinite service to Krishna without any break. Is this a good reason? Valid reason? Can this be done in the material world? Very difficult. So we want to go to the spiritual world so that we can do unlimited service to Krishna, and Krishna should accept unlimited service from us. This is a very good reason why I want to go back to God. So like this, we should have some valid reasons. Narayana parasarve na kaschana bidhyati swarga apavarga narkeshu api tulyartha daksha. For devotees who have a pure devotional consciousness, for them it does not matter whether they are in heaven or hell or earth, material world or spiritual world. Because they are completely absorbed in Krishna consciousness. For them, everything is spiritual. Acharyas like Srila Prabhupada, they are not very anxious to go back home, back to world also. They are busy sending others going back home, back to world. They are not very anxious because their agenda is to serve Krishna. They don't want, they are such pure devotees of Krishna that they don't want to enjoy with Krishna. They just want to serve Krishna. If Krishna tells Srila Prabhupada, okay, now your time on planet Earth is over, now I want you to go to the lower planetary systems and open ISKCON centers there, Srila Prabhupada will say, okay. What will I say? Krishna, at least for some time in Goloka. After that, we'll discuss now. This is our nature. So going back to Godhead is a very good desire. You should cultivate it. But pure devotees, they are so much absorbed in Krishna's service that for them going back to Godhead also is not a primary concern. Their primary concern is how can I love Krishna? How can I serve Krishna? How can I please Krishna? But there are some devotees who don't, but the problem is that there are very few people who are pure devotees of Krishna. How many pure devotees of Krishna can you find on a daily basis? Very rare. So only pure devotees have this consciousness. But what about the others who do not have this pure devotional consciousness? In order to make them understand what is this pure devotional consciousness, Paritranaya sadhanam vinashaya chadushkatam dharma sansthapanam. This dharma of the spirit soul, which is to render pure devotional, unconditional, unmotivated service to Krishna. Those who don't know this dharma, just to make them understand, the Lord descends. Sambhavam yuge yuge. So the Lord descends again and again just to make everybody understand what is pure devotional service. Today we are going to discuss why Lord Krishna again descended in Kali Yuga as Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now for every descent, there is one. There are external reasons of the descent of the Lord and there are some internal reasons of the descent of the Lord. Every incarnation. Clarification, is Lord Chaitanya an incarnation? Yes or no? If yes, why? If no, why? Please tell me.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, very good. Why?
Scriptures actually.
Scriptures say, okay.
Like not just scriptures, Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra.
Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra say, all three are saying. So Lord Chaitanya is an incarnation because Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra say that. Anybody wants to have difference of opinion from him?
Golden avatar. No,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Golden avatar of Krishna. Okay.
He is Krishna himself.
He is Krishna himself. You have a difference of opinion. Very good. Both of you are Munis because you have two different opinions. Very good. Why you say that he is not Krishna's avatar, but he is Krishna himself? What is the difference between incarnation of Krishna and being Krishna himself? What is the difference?
So when incarnation comes, he will be partial.
Partial.
He will
I mean,
full form of.
he may not choose to display full potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Like Lord Rama, he was not in full potential. But Krishna, when he descends himself, he will be in full potential.
So did Lord Chaitanya show full potency? Yes or no?
Yes.
So there are many. The correct answer is both of you are correct because both of you are Munis. How can I say one Muni is wrong and one? Munis are in their own place. There is a difference between Lord Chaitanya and other incarnations. In other incarnations, Lord Krishna is coming through, I mean, in all incarnations, he comes through the Purusha avatars. But this incarnation is very special. This incarnation is called as Bhakta. In any other incarnation, that incarnation has not shown or has not accepted himself as Krishna. For example, Varahadev, although he's Krishna, but he doesn't accept himself as Krishna. He says, I'm Varaha, and this is my mood, and these are my pastimes. I'm Narsimha, this is my mood, and these are my pastimes. Pure devotees will see Narsimha as Krishna. They will see Varaha as Krishna. But there is only one appearance of the Lord where he himself has accepted that I am Krishna. Of course, amidst the confidential devotees. So therefore, Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya, Namne Gauranga. It is Krishna himself who has come in his complete spiritual form in this planet Earth. It's Krishna himself. When Krishna comes, all the other avatars, they come along with him, residing in his body. And from the pastimes of Chaitanya Bhagavat, the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya mentioned in Chaitanya Bhagavat, Lord Chaitanya has exhibited the Narsimha Rupa also. Have we seen any other Parshuram exhibiting the Narsimha Rupa, Vamana Rupa? Lord Chaitanya has exhibited Kurma Rupa, Vamana Rupa, Narsimha Rupa, Matsya Rupa, Rama Rupa, he has exhibited those. In the Mahaprakash Leela, he has exhibited this. That means he is the Supreme Personality of God. Krishna is not an avatar, he is avatari. And that Supreme Personality of Godhead has descended as Lord Chaitanya. Bhakti. There are some external reasons for the appearance of Lord Chaitanya, which I will discuss on the day of Gauranga. Today, I thought I will discuss the internal reasons why Lord Chaitanya appears. Similarly, there are some external reasons why Lord Krishna appears. What are the external reasons? I just chanted the shloka. What is the external reasons? Paritranaya sadhunam, vinashaya chadushtham, dharma sansthapanadhaya, samhavati. These are the external reasons why Lord Krishna descends. But there are some other internal reasons why Lord Krishna descends, which is generally not openly discussed in the scriptures. Only very confidential devotees who are very close to their spiritual masters, they will know this. So today we will discuss what is the external reason? Just in brief, can you tell me external reason for the appearance of Lord Chaitanya?
Demons.
Killing the demons. Huh? Which demons he killed? You and me.
To establish Dharma.
To start the Sankirtan movement. See, the names or chanting of the names of the Lord was existing since time immemorial. Lord Shiva is chanting, Narada Muni is chanting, Brahma is chanting, kings are chanting, queens are chanting, everybody is chanting. But this whole concept of coming together and congregationally chanting the holy names of the Lord, this Sankirtan movement, the inaugurator was Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Rather, this is called as Prema Sankirtan. This happens in Goloka. So this culture of coming together and congregationally chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. This culture was brought down by Lord. So this is the external reason. Another external reason is Lord Krishna gave the Bhagavad Gita, but he saw that the devotees are not following. The people in general are not following. So, in order to explain people how to practice, they may say that Bhagavad Gita was spoken on a battlefield in Dwapar Yuga, it is not relevant. So, in order to show the relevance of Bhakti Yoga and how it can be practiced in Kali Yuga and how it is relevant to everybody, Lord Krishna descended as Lord Chaitanya to show that yes, it is not irrelevant. It's very relevant. These are the external reasons. People were becoming very materialistic. Yeah. The karma and the jnana aspects were eating away the nullism, voidism, was killing people. People had forgotten the highest form of philosophy, which is the Acyuta Bheda philosophy. So, in order to drive away all these nullists and voidists, Nirvisheshva, Shunyavad, Lord Chaitanya came, Mayavad, external. But today, we'll discuss the internal reasons. And it is very, I relish this very much whenever I read this. So I'm going to refer to, I'm going to refer to the Adi Leela, chapter 4 of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. The name of this chapter is Confidential Reasons for the Appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this chapter has some 400 slokas. Can we cover 400 slokas? So you should give me some credit that I've digested this and I'm trying to present to you in half an hour, 1 hour time.
400.
Sorry?
At 400.
The confidential reasons. The whole chapter I'll try to present to you. Because I know what you are interested in. You want the, just like children, before eating, they would directly want the rasgulla. First. Then they will go to roti sabzi. So I know people are directly interested in the highest ecstasy. Why did he come? What are the internal reasons? What is God thinking when he is becoming Lord Shiva? That only, Ade, I want to do directly. So we will give you directly. Okay? Yes.
And Buddha also, that incarnation.
Yes.
But he's done the Shunyavadi.
Shunyavadi. Why did this happen? Question is, Buddha is an incarnation of Lord Krishna. It has been accepted in all the scriptures. Why did he spread Shunyavad, nullism? Why he is spreading nullism and voidism? Rather, it is not nullism, it is voidism. Shunyavad, Nirvishesh. Nirvishesh is Mayavad, where Nirvishesh, there is no Vishesha. Means there is no specific features of the Lord. Everything is Brahman. That is nullist. Voidist means there is nothing. Vacuum. That is what happens after death? Nothing. What is the result of your karma? Nothing. That is voidism. So why did Buddha do this? Can anybody try to answer? By the way, the teachings of Gautam Buddha and what the present day Buddhism society is teaching, they are huge difference. Lord Buddha strictly taught voidism, but the present day Buddhist society is teaching so many things. They are also into reincarnation and other things. Whereas Buddha always remained silent about God and reincarnation, karma, and all those aspects. But why did Lord Buddha do this? Why did he deny the Vedas? Why did he deny the existence? Or why did he remain silent over the existence of God? He himself was God. Why did he do this? Would someone like to answer?
Because at that time, the social order was not, it was degraded basically.
Okay.
Regarding the spirituality and everything. And people were misusing the scriptures and for their own personal benefit. And they were also
What was the misuse?
Like for killing of animals.
Very good. Killing of animals.
Killing of animals for money, or like using their spiritual knowledge for their own personal monetary gains or something like those things.
Military gains. Okay.
Monetary gains.
Monetary gains.
So, in order to, like when we realize that okay, this has degraded to a very low level now. So just to tell people that okay, for the time you just forget all these things, you simply follow.
Yes. Yes. In the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is one of the future incarnations of Buddha has been mentioned. How many of you have carefully read that? It is not here in the first canto. This is the reason why Buddha had went. So in first canto of Bhagavatam, you'll read that in one of the future Kali Yugas, the people of Kali Yuga will be so advanced, not like this. This Kali Yuga is one of the goody Kali Yugas. In one of the future Kali Yugas, people will be so advanced that they will be able to travel to various planets. Now we are not able to travel to various planets. Now we are going to a dead planet called Rahu all the time. And we are thinking we are going to moon. The moon has a different description. But in the future Kali Yuga, people will be able to be little more advanced so that they will be able to do interplanetary travel by the power of their Shaktis and Vibhutis. At that time, it is mentioned in Bhagavatam that Lord Buddha will come and he will bewilder them, making them understand that this traveling to various planets and enjoying is not the purpose of life. The purpose of life is to be simple and follow the Madhyam Marg, However, in this Kali Yuga, the problem was something else, like Prabhuji was quoting. In the name of Vedic literature, people were doing sense gratification of the tongue. They wanted to eat meat, fish, and eggs. And they wanted some good reason to do that. So they found those sections of the Vedas which hint or which talk about meat eating. Every section of actually all the religious scriptures, their aim is to minimize or slowly reduce the meat consumption, whether it is Quran or Bible or Vedic literature. That is the aim. Lord Jesus Christ had 12 principal disciples. All of those 12 were vegetarians. This is what I have read. So every scripture targets to minimize, but then everybody has a tendency, especially the demons, they have a tendency to extract some other meaning out of it. For example, Hiranyakashipu, when his brother Hiranyaksh died, he told the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. That means full second chapter he told. But he used it for his own purpose. He didn't use it for overcoming the grief of the death of his brother. He used it to just pacify his family members so that he can go and sit in meditation to kill Vishnu. So demons, they have a tendency of using the Vedic literature for their own purpose. So these demoniac people, they were so much into meat eating that they were giving examples from Vedic literature, and they were sacrificing animals left, right, and center. You cannot imagine how much sacrifice was happening in that. Probably it is equivalent to the number of WhatsApp messages being sent every day. That much level of sacrifice was happening. So the animal society was praying to God. So it is mentioned here. Nindasi yajna vidher ahaha shruti ja sadaya hridaya darshita pashubhatum keshavadhrita buddha sharira keshavadhrita buddha sharira jaya jagadish hare Jaya Jagadisha. O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of Buddha, all glories to you. O Buddha of compassionate heart, you decry the slaughtering of poor animals performed according to the rules of Vedic science. People were saying, what wrong we are doing? We are following the Vedic literature. And we are sacrificing. Jiyo or jine do, khao or khane do, piyo or pine do, that kind of concept. So Lord Buddha said, okay, you want to khao or khane do? I reject the Vedas. That's all. You are following the Vedas to kill the animals to eat very nicely. I reject the Vedas. Now you decide what you want to do. You want to follow me or the Vedas? And because Lord Buddha is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Keshav, very attractive. So everybody will naturally follow whom? Vedas or Krishna? But that's all. So he rejected the Vedas and did a mass scale conversion of the whole planet into vegetarians. You understood? You cannot imagine what he has done.
But now it's totally different.
Not so much different as it was at that time. Whatever little bit mode of goodness and vegetarianism is remaining on this planet is because of it. Otherwise, I would have been eating you and you would have been eating me. That would have been the situation. An animal society would have been dead. So Lord Buddha brought this, yes. This is Dashavatara Stotram written by Jayadeva Goswami. Okay, that is the reason of Buddha's descent. Now coming back, now do not take me away from the central discussion, the internal reasons why Lord Chaitanya has appeared. Are you all ready? Are you all ready? Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. So I will quickly be reading and I'll explain. Please see, the mind of Krishna has been explained. It is said that the Bhagavad Gita is are the words of Krishna. The Srimad Bhagavatam is the life and dealings of Krishna. But Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita is the mind of Krishna, what Krishna is thinking. Even though Lord Krishna, the abode, listen, see the verse number 119 and 120 of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, chapter 4. Even though Lord Krishna, the abode of all mellows, had previously in this way chewed the essence of the mellows of love, that means he had tasted all rasas in the Krishna Leela, he was still unable to fulfill three desires, although he made efforts to taste them. So primarily there are three reasons why Lord Chaitanya or Lord Krishna came as Lord Chaitanya. I shall explain his first desire. Who shall explain? Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami, who is the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, he is going to explain. So devotees can understand the mind of Krishna. Krishna says, I am the primary. Now, this is the first reason. Please listen very carefully. In the next 10 verses, you will try to understand what is the first reason why Lord Chaitanya came. Internal reason. Okay. Krishna says, I am the primary cause of all rasas. I am the full spiritual truth and I am made of full joy. But the love of Srimati Radharani drives me mad. Krishna is saying, I am Sachidananda Vigraha. I am the supreme absolute truth. I am made Sukha Rupa Sukha Dharam. Not only I am the form of Sukha, but I am the basis of all Sukha. But love of Srimati Radharani is giving me also Sukha. What is this? I do not know the strength of Radha's love, with which she always overwhelms me. Now, who is Srimati Radharani? First, we have to understand it. Actually, that is a separate class, which I will give in Radha Tattva. In short, I will say Srimati Radharani is not different from Krishna. However, her mood is to serve. Lord Krishna's mood is to accept the service. He is the object of all service. Everybody wants to serve Krishna and he accepts all the services. But the topmost servant of Krishna is Srimati Radha. There are various rasas in which you can love Krishna. Shant rasa, Dasya rasa, Sakhya rasa, Vatsalya rasa and Madhurya rasa. Madhurya rasa is the topmost rasa where all conceptions of dissension, all conceptions of personal self-security, all conceptions of rebellion is completely put aside. The only reason why they exist is to please Krishna and serve Krishna. There is no other reason. And they are ready to go to hell to serve Krishna. When Krishna called the gopis of Vrindavan, they didn't care whether it is day or night. They didn't care whether their father is agreeing or not, whether their husband is agreeing or not, whether their brother is agreeing or not, whether their sons are agreeing or not. They just left. We cannot even begin to realize the kind of sacrifices they have made for Krishna. And what did Krishna give them in return? Nothing. He just left and went away. To all the other devotees, Krishna has given rewards. Putana, he has given some reward. Arjuna, he has given some reward. Kunti Maharani. Every devotee gets something from. Why did the gopis only didn't get anything? Because Krishna openly accepted. I have nothing to give you. I have already given you myself. Now more than that, what can I give? When somebody takes so much loan from a person that he can never return, what does that person do? They run away. And that's why Krishna left Vrindavan and went away, because he was so much in debt to these gopis. He used to always say that your service is your own reward. I can't thank you enough, and I cannot give you anything.
Even if you tell that one time Brahmas, if I serve also, I can't pay return.
Yes, there is no way in which I can return anything. So, these gopis are those personalities. Whether Krishna makes them happy by being present before them and embracing them, or whether he makes them broken-hearted by not being present before them eternally. In all circumstances, these gopis will worship Krishna as their unconditional Lord and Master. That is these gopis. And amongst all these gopis, the topmost gopika is Srimati Radharani. I have said in the previous classes also, what is that one single quality which in Srimati Radharani which attracts Krishna very much? Sorry? Humility, correct. Nobody is more humble than Srimati. This Krishna cannot ignore, and he likes it so much that he wants to spend. In fact, Krishna, when he makes the statement that I love only Radharani and nobody else, he's sitting with other gopis, he's holding their hand, he's telling, I only love Radha. And others are okay, yeah, you should love Radha. Radha is the best. So there is no competition. So that is Srimati Radharani. The word Radha is derived from Aradhana, which means worshipping Krishna. So nobody can worship Krishna in a better way than Srimati Radha. So that Krishna is thinking, the love of Radhika is my teacher, and I am her dancing pupil. Just like Krishna became the dancing pupil in front of your mother Yashoda. So similarly, he is the dancing pupil in front of Srimati Radharani. Her prema makes me dance in various novel ways. So all of a sudden he is thinking like this, and Tulsi Maharani is coming very nicely. Oh, my beloved friend Vrinda. No, Srimati Radharani is seeing Tulsi Maharani is coming from Srimati. Oh, my beloved friend Vrinda, where are you coming from? Whatever pleasure I get, Krishna is speaking, sorry. Whatever pleasure I get from tasting my love for Srimati Radharani, she tastes 10 million times more than me by her love. So Krishna is a very, very good mathematician. He's telling that when Srimati Radharani is with me, whatever love experiences I have, multiply that by 10 million times, that much is the experience of Srimati Radharani. And I'm supposed to be Sachidanand Vikram. So just as I am the abode of all mutually contradictory characteristics, so Radha's love is also full of similar contradictions. What are some of the contradictions in Krishna's personality? What is the meaning of this statement? Just as I am the abode of all mutually contradictory characteristics. What does it mean? When I say all contradictions, they come and reside and permeate so very sublimely in the existence of Krishna. What does it mean?
He will come every time with a different character.
Illa. Contradictions existing together.
Material nature.
Illa.
He is considered to be all powerful, but for his devotee, he is even willing to get tired of it.
Yes, this is a contradiction. He is the most powerful, Balwan, Balvatam, Chaham, and the strength of the strong. But he is easily controlled by another issue. This is a contradiction. And both these contradictions, they very nicely reside in his personality without any problem. Tavakara Kamalavare Nakham Adbhuta Shringi. Your body, your hands are as soft as lotus. But with those lotus-like hands, you have ripped apart the stone-like chest of Hiranyakashipu. Is this a contradiction? But both of them nicely exist in Krishna's personality. So this Krishna is saying, just as I am the abode of mutually contradictory characteristics, so Radha's love is also full of similar contradictions. That means Radha, Srimati Radharani, she will love Krishna very much. At the same time, she will scold Krishna also. Contradictory, right? This she'll do it. So very much contradictory. Lord Krishna is very gentle in his behavior. The whole world knows this. But whenever you ask Lord Krishna, he will say, Srimati Radharani is very crooked in it. So how can somebody who is the most humble person be the most crooked also? That is Srimati Radharani. Because she knows that my crooked nature gives pleasure to Krishna. My humble nature gives pleasure to Krishna. Let me combine. Radha's love is all pervading, leaving no room for expansion, but still it is expanding constantly. There is certainly nothing greater than her love, but her love is devoid of pride. This is the sign of her greatness. Now, see this point. Sri Radhika is the highest abode of love, and I am its only object. I taste the bliss to which the object of love is entitled. But the pleasure of Radha, the abode of love, is 10 million times greater. Again and again, Krishna is comparing. I am getting the love of Srimati Radharani. I am the only object of that love. But by staying with me, I am feeling very happy. My touch is very refreshing. Whomever I will touch, they will feel completely refreshed. They'll forget the sufferings which they have gone through in billions and trillions of lifetimes. But even I am feeling refreshed when Srimati Radharani is touching. I am feeling so happy to stay with Srimati Radharani. But Srimati Radharani is feeling 10 million times more happiness. So the first reason why Krishna wants to descend is here. My mind races to taste the pleasure experienced by the abode, but I cannot taste it, even by my best efforts. Krishna is thinking, how can I taste it? Answer, Krishna is answering to himself. If sometime I can become that abode of love, only then I can taste that joy. Are you understanding? Krishna is thinking, only when I will take the position of Srimati Radharani, then only I will be able to understand what she is experiencing. Thinking in this way, Lord Krishna was curious to taste that love. Which is that love? Love of Srimati Radharani. His eager desire for that love increasingly blazed in his heart. What is that happiness which she is experiencing? I want to experience. This is one desire. The first reason why Lord Chaitanya or Lord Krishna advented as Lord Chaitanya. You see Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and you hear his pastimes. The real reason why he descended was this. He wanted to taste the joy or the bliss or the happiness or the love of Srimati Radharani. She was experiencing 10 million times pleasure than Krishna. While being with Krishna, he wanted to experience that. So maybe you can take this in your notebooks. Why Lord Chaitanya advented? The first reason of his advent was to experience the taste or the pleasure which is being experienced by Srimati Radharani. Okay, clear? Now, I'll tell you the second reason. Second reason is all about being sweet. Krishna again starts pondering that my sweetness is wonderful, infinite, and full. No one in the three worlds can find its limit. Krishna is, we have that song, Adharam Madhuram. Can we sing one verse from there? Adharam Madhuram. Yes. Adharam Madhuram lyrics. This is a very, very nice song composed by Vallabhacharya. Adharam Madhuram Vadanam Madhuram Nayanam Madhuram Hasitam Madhuram Hridayam Madhuram Gamanam Madhura Dhipate Akhilam Madhuram Vachanam Madhuram Charitam Madhuram Vasanam Madhuram Varitam Madhuram Charitam Madhuram Varitam Madhuram Madhuram Dhipate Akhilam Pani Madhura Paro Madhura Nrityam Madhuram Satyam Madhuram Madhura Geetam Madhuram Uttam Madhuram Dukham Madhuram Rupam Madhuram Shilatam Madhuram Madhuram Let's see these four paragraphs. What do they mean? We are discussing the sweetness of Krishna. So his lips are sweet, his face is sweet, his eyes are sweet, his smile is sweet, his heart is sweet, his walking or gait is sweet. Everything is sweet about the emperor of sweetness. His words are sweet, his character is sweet, his dress is sweet, his belly folds are sweet. That means when he sits, he does not have a six-pack. When he sits, I am not Krishna, so I cannot show you. When he sits, his stomach will fold in three waves. It's called as Tribali. And the people of Vrindavan or everybody in the world used to love that. That's what I say. People have not experienced real beauty. They think that six-pack is beauty. But when you see the Tribali of Krishna, you will lose all other desires to see anything else. Simply when you see the folds coming in the, in the Krishna book, there is a photo of Tribali. I don't know how many of you have observed. The Brahmana carrying the letter of Mother Rukmini has reached Mathura, and Lord Krishna is sitting like this and reading. And when he's reading, the stomach is folded in three waves. Tribali. That is being discussed here. It's very beautiful. So, his belly folds are sweet. His movements are sweet. His wandering is sweet. Everything is sweet about the emperor of sweetness. His flute is sweet. His foot dust is sweet. His hands are sweet. His feet is sweet. His dancing is sweet. His friendship is sweet. Everything is sweet about the emperor of sweetness. His singing is sweet. His yellow cloth is sweet. His eating is sweet. Eating. These eating pastimes of Krishna are very nicely described in Brihad Bhagavatam. The goal of life of Mother Yashoda and Nand Maharaj was just to sit and see Krishna eating. That's all. They have nothing else to do. So it was such a nice thing to see Krishna eating. The way with those heavenly mudras with which he used to pick up something, throw it and put it in his mouth with that smile. The way he used to move the eyebrows while eating. The way his pearl-like teeth would be visible. The way he used to make expressions while eating. The way he used to drink water. And the way he used to sometimes say, this is good, this is not good. Remove this, get that. That was the only reason why Mother Yashoda was existing. It was a festival to see Krishna eating. That is the... So, his eating is also sweet. His sleeping is sweet. His beauty is sweet. His tilak is sweet. Everything is sweet about the Emperor of Sweetness. So that sweetness is being referred by Lord Krishna himself. He's telling, my sweetness is wonderful, infinite and full. No one in the three worlds can find its limit. But only Srimati Radharani, by the strength of her love, tastes all the nectar of my sweetness. Who can taste the sweetness of Krishna? Only Srimati Radharani. So if you want to relish how sweet Krishna is, you should pray to whom? Although Radha's love is pure like a mirror, its purity increases every moment. My sweetness, now see, Krishna is telling how my devotee is greater than me. This is the nature of Krishna. Although Krishna is the greatest, but he thinks his devotee is greater than him. So my sweetness also has no room for expansion. Yet it shines before that mirror in newer and newer beauty. Lord Krishna is thinking that I am sweet. Yeah, I am sweet. I am Madhuradipati Ashilam Madhuram. But I see that the way in which Srimati Radharani relishes my sweetness, she relishes it in a newer and newer way every day. I am not able to understand how sweet I am. I want to taste my own sweetness. Sometimes when I stand in front of the mirror and look at myself, I feel attracted to myself. This is Krishna's thing. Krishna. I don't know if others are feeling like that, but that is the useless feeling. But Krishna's feeling is the actual feeling. Krishna, he feels attracted to himself because he's so beautiful. So my sweetness also has no room for expansion, yet it shines in the mirror of newer and newer beauty. There is constant competition between my sweetness and the way Radharani is relishing it. That means the mirror of Radharani's love. Somehow the mirror is relishing it more. They both go on increasing. Every moment when I see Srimati Radharani, my sweetness goes on increasing. And Srimati Radharani relishes in a bigger way. Seeing her relishing in a bigger way, my sweetness increases more. And then she relishes in a bigger way. Seeing that, my sweetness increases more. Like that infinite competition is going on. So my sweetness is always newer and newer. That's why we all say that we should all meditate on the form of Krishna. Because it is newer and newer every moment once you start relishing it. These are not just theoretical words, but this is actual fact. Our mind needs something new every moment. That's why the mind has a habit of being dissatisfied and unhappy in every situation. Because it needs something new, something new. Naya kya hai? Aur batao. What is new? What's next? What's next? We got bored of this. What's next? So mind has this tendency. But if we focus the mind on Krishna, every moment the mind has a demand of experiencing something new. And Lord Krishna's sweetness provides something new. So demand and supply is being met. So my sweetness is always newer and newer. Devotees taste it according to their own respective love. Whether they are in Shanta Rasa, Dasya Rasa, Madhurya Rasa, Sakhya Rasa, Vatsalya, whatever relish mellow they are, it's not that only in Madhurya Rasa Krishna is unlimitedly sweet. When Hanuman is looking at Lord Ram in Dasya Rasa, every moment he is experiencing newer and newer sweetness in Dasya Rasa. Every moment Arjuna is experiencing newer and newer rasas in Sakhya Rasa. Every moment Mother Yashoda is experiencing newer and newer rasas in Vatsalya Rasa. That is Krishna. Now, the problem is here. If I see my own sweetness in a mirror, I am tempted to taste it. But the problem is that I am not able to taste it. The way my devotees are able to taste my sweetness, I am not able to taste it. If I think that how can I taste it, I find that I hanker for a position of Srimati Radha. We are discussing the internal reasons of Lord Chaitanya, Lord Krishna's descent as Lord Chaitanya. We saw the first reason. This is the second reason, that he wants to taste his own sweetness. So Krishna is thinking, who manifests an abundance of sweetness greater than mine, which has never been experienced before, and which causes wonder to all? Alas, I myself, my mind bewildered upon the sweet, seeing this beauty, impetuously desire to enjoy it like Srimati Radha. That means, I am Krishna, I want to enjoy myself the way Srimati Radharani is enjoying me. Is this a spiritual desire or a material desire? Tell me. This is a godly desire. Okay? Even only God can decide like this. Jiva Tattvas cannot even understand what is going on, but we are just trying to understand. So the beauty of Krishna has one natural strength. It thrills the hearts of all men and women. So Krishna is not attracted to just men and women, but everybody. And it attracts Krishna himself also. All the minds are attracted by hearing his sweet voice, flute, by seeing his beauty. Even Lord Krishna himself makes an effort to taste that sweetness. Okay, I'm just seeing where I was reading. So now there is a description of that sweetness, how the gopis are experiencing. So this is a verse from the Gopi Geet. It's quoted in the Gopi Geet. Let's go into that verse. I hope it will be quoted here. 10:31:15. Now we are discussing the sweetness of Krishna. Only gopis know what is the sweetness of Krishna. Let's try to experience that sweetness through the gopi. Krishna wants to experience that sweetness. So Krishna has to take the position of a gopi, that is Srimati Radharani. We cannot experience. We can only read Srimad Bhagavatam and hope and pray that by the mercy of Radharani we'll experience the sweetness. But what is that sweetness? It has been described through the gopis. Atati yad bhavan aham tanam Kruti yugayate Swama pasyatam Kutila kundalam Jadavdi shatam Pakshma Krisham. The gopis are singing this. What they are saying, my dear Lord Krishna, when you go out to the forest during the day, a tiny fraction of a second becomes like a millennium for us because we cannot see. So one who has experienced the sweetness of Krishna will have this feeling. Yugaitam nimeshena chakshusha pravishyayitam shunyayitam jagat sarvam govinda virahena. Every moment will appear like a millennium. And one will feel that the whole world is vacant in the absence of Krishna. Generally, sometimes I keep talking to many people. So some people say, I just recently had a breakup. I'm feeling that the whole world is vacant. And after 1 week, they say, Abhi, the world has become full now. I found a backup. I say, the world is very fast changing. Change is very common in the world. But the gopis are not like that. They understand what's the difference between love and lust. I used to play video games when I was a small child. One day my video game stopped working. For a few days I was thinking the whole world is vacant. But that feeling cannot be compared to the feeling of goodness. Oh Krishna, when you go off to the forest during the day, a tiny fraction of a second becomes like a millennium for us because we cannot see you. And even when we can eagerly look upon your beautiful face, so lovely with its adornment of curly locks, our pleasure is hindered by our eyelids, which were fashioned by the foolish creator. So gopis are telling, first whole day we are suffering because we are not able to see. And then after herding the cows, after doing the Gocharan Leela, when you are coming back, your bluish black hair is covered with dust particles, tiny drops of sweat all around. With your playful eyebrows, you are looking at us. In sign language, you are talking to us. And while we are seeing your whole personality as you are returning, first of all, we missed you the whole day. One moment was like 1 millennium. But when we are trying to take your darshan, when we are trying to drink your beauty through the medium of our eyes, we blink. And when we blink, we miss a lot. How big an idiot this secondary creator Brahma is. He didn't even know how to make proper eyes. First of all, he gave us the chance to see you. In another lecture I was hearing that the gopis were appreciating the curse which Indra got. So Indra got a very bad curse. I don't want to get into that curse, but the result of that curse was he has eyes all over his body. Because of some lusty activity, he was cursed to have vagina all over his body. But then, because he was Indra, it was later on made into eyes all over him. So wherever Indra's body will have eyes. So gopis were appreciating the position of Indra, that when he will stand in front of you, through all those thousands of eyes, he can drink your beauty. Nobody appreciates this. Indra himself hides, he wears full sleeve kurta and he himself hides it because he doesn't like it. But the gopis are appreciating what a nice curse Indra got. He can see. But look at us, we have only 2 eyes. Now let's examine ourselves. How many of us we feel like this when we are taking darshan? We don't even care how many times we have been. The gopis didn't want it to lose even a 1/16th of a second also while blinking. Why this is happening? Because this is the sweetness of Krishna. One who experiences it will not lose 1/16th of a second also. Again, the gopis are saying, again, this Gopi Geet is very, very nice actually. This is not exactly Gopi Geet. It's from some other chapter. The cowherd girls are saying, oh friends, those eyes that see the beautiful faces of the sons of Maharaj Nanda are certainly fortunate. As these 2 sons enter the forest surrounded by their friends, driving the cows before them, they hold their flutes to their mouths and glance lovingly upon the residents of Vrindavan. For those who have eyes, we think that there is no greater object of vision. Krishna avalokana vina falanahiyan jai jana Krishna dekhe sai bhagavad. If we have eyes and if we have not yet seen Krishna, then whole eyes are a waste of time. That is the essence of this discussion. So, that sweetness, even the women of Mathura are saying, we are discussing the sweetness of Krishna. The women of Mathura are saying, what austerities must the gopis have performed? When Krishna and Balram are walking in Mathura, they have just entered the gate of Mathura. They have killed the demon, or sorry, the elephant whose name was Kuvalyapida, who had the strength of 1,000 elephants. And as they are walking in the city, they meet the laundryman or the washerman of Kamsa. He's washing the clothes. So Krishna says, me and my friends, we need some clothes. So this washerman, he said, why should I give you? Are you crazy? This is king's clothes. Next time if you say, you will be beaten up. So Krishna just takes his hand and does like this. And with his hand, he cuts the head of the washerman and takes some clothes, wears it and walks away. Actually, this washerman in his previous life was a great devotee of Krishna. When Lord Ram was about to be married, at that time he was a tailor and he had a desire to offer some clothes to Lord Ram for the purpose of his marriage. But it became a little late. As always, tailors are always late. So this tailor was very morose. So Lord Ram told him, don't worry, in future, I will accept clothes from you. So the same tailor had become this washerman in this life. He had forgotten his desire. But Lord Krishna never forgot what he desired. He liberated him by killing him. And after killing him, he made him more fortunate by taking service from him. And then sent him back home. That is Krishna. And after wearing the clothes like that, looking like some drama artists, people, this is the speciality of Krishna and Balram. The people around them will be simple. But when they will dress up, these two boys, they will look like as if they are going in some drama. Drama means like, are you dressed like some drama costume? No. Drama was very flashy, a hero-like. They used to dress like that. So when they are walking in the streets, as they are walking, the Brahmins are coming, they are worshipping him. A flower garland person is bringing flowers for him, Krishna and Balram. Everybody is seeing. The women of Mathura, they are coming and running on the terraces and they are coming to see Krishna and Balram. Then they are seeing. When they are seeing Krishna and Balram walk, they are saying, what austerities must gopis have performed? With their eyes, they always drink the nectar of the form of Lord Krishna, which is the essence of all loveliness, which is not equaled or surpassed. That loveliness is the only abode of beauty, fame, and opulence. It is self-perfect, ever fresh, and extremely rare. So this is the sweetness of Krishna. We saw how the gopis feel. We saw how the women of Mathura feel. We saw how Krishna himself feels. Now, the second reason why Lord Krishna has descended as Lord Chaitanya is because of this sweetness. So Lord Krishna's own beauty attracts Lord Krishna himself. But he cannot fully enjoy it. So his mind is feeling sorrow. I want to taste my own sweetness. So in order to taste his own sweetness, he wants to take the position of Srimati Radharani and feel how nicely Srimati Radharani is enjoying this. So the second reason of Lord Krishna's descent is that he wants to taste his own sweetness by taking on the mood and the temperament of Srimati Radharani. Are you able to follow internal reasons why Lord Chaitanya has descended? Can someone tell me the first two reasons why Lord Krishna descended as Lord Chaitanya? Sorry? Somebody is saying something. What was the first reason?
Service and for Lord Krishna.
Yes. Why did Lord Krishna descend as Lord Chaitanya?
There is the love of Srimati Radharani.
To
There is the love of Srimati Radharani.
taste the bliss or the happiness which Srimati Radharani experiences. Krishna was giving a quantity difference. How much was the quantity difference? 10 million times. Srimati Radharani is 10 million times happier than me when she is serving me. I want to taste that happiness. First reason. Second reason, Krishna is the abode of all sweetness. And Srimati Radharani is tasting that sweetness in newer and newer ways. She has a never-ending engagement in tasting my sweetness. How can I taste my own sweetness? Therefore, I have to become like Srimati Radharani. Only then I can taste my own sweetness. This is the second reason. Now let's go to the third reason. I'll skip around 60 verses because that is a very huge description of the position of Srimati Radharani and Krishna.
These are the reasons why Lord Chaitanya came into existence, right?
Why Lord Krishna decided to advent as Lord Chaitanya? We're discussing the reasons, internal reasons for that. Now, the third reason. Let me just find out. I should have noted down the verse number. Every time I get lost when I explain this chapter. Give me a moment. Yes. Let's go to verse number 240. We are discussing the third reason now. Now, Lord Krishna is again considering the third reason. The vibration of my transcendental flute attracts the three worlds. But my ears are enchanted by the sweet words of Srimati Radharani. Although my body lends fragrance to the entire creation, the scent of Radharani's limbs captivate my mind and heart. Although the entire creation is full of different tastes because of me, I am charmed by the nectarian taste of Srimati Radharani. Although my touch is cooler than 10 million moons, I am refreshed by the touch of Srimati Radharani. Thus, although I am the source of all happiness for the entire world, my beauty and attributes are the source of happiness for Srimati Radharani. So Lord Krishna is considering all this. And then he gives some examples how Srimati Radharani is so happy serving Lord Krishna. So we'll just read that. My eyes are fully satisfied when I look upon Srimati Radharani, but by looking upon me, she becomes even more advanced in satisfaction. So the third reason is Krishna wants that satisfaction which Srimati Radharani has had. Krishna says, when the bamboos rub against each other, when you touch the flute, just like when I touch the mic, this kind of sound. So Krishna also, when he touches the flute, some sound comes. Now Srimati Radharani is so absorbed to the sound of this flute, then when bamboo trees, when they rub against each other, she's thinking Krishna is there. That is the consciousness of Srimati Radharani. There is a description in one of the Puranas that Srimati Radharani has become almost mad in separation with Krishna. She's chanting Krishna's names and crying, and chanting or crying Krishna's names. She has lost her consciousness and she has just fallen down on the ground. There is no symptom of life in her. Only slightly she is breathing. This is called as samadhi. When you enter samadhi, even the pulse will stop working. Medical science will declare you dead. But in that situation, if you take a little bit of cotton and you put in the nose, that's why when people die, they always do this. It's a very serious thing. It is there to test whether the person has gone in samadhi or whether he has actually died. So when you put a little bit of cotton, if that cotton does not move slightly, that means you're dead. Pulse is not there, means you're dead. But if pulse is not there, and by putting cotton a little bit is moving, that means you're in samadhi. So Srimati Radharani was in samadhi. And somebody came and whispered in her ears, Krishna has come. Krishna, like that somebody said. Simply by hearing the name Krishna, she came out of samadhi immediately. I compare this to myself. When I chant Hare Krishna, I fall asleep. But Srimati Radharani is such an advanced devotee that even when she is sleeping, if somebody tells Krishna, she wakes. This is the difference between pure devotee and struggling sadhaka. So her consciousness is that when she hears two bamboo trees rubbing each other, she thinks that Krishna is holding the flute somewhere. I have to be there. And Tamal tree has a dark appearance. In Vrindavan temple, it's called Radha Shyam Sundar temple. Just in front of Radha Shyam Sundar, there is a tree in the temple courtyard. By the order of Srila Prabhupada, it was not cut down. That tree is constantly taking darshan of Gaur Nitai, Krishna Balram, and Shri Radha Shyam Sundar. That is a Tamal tree. So in the darkness, Srimati Radharani and all the gopis used to think that this Tamal tree is Krishna. Whenever they used to see something which is darkish, for example, first of all, we cannot imagine the color of the body of Krishna. It is transcendent. We cannot say it was blue, we cannot say it was black, we cannot say it was like the fresh. We can always say it was like the fresh monsoon cloud. So if somebody asks the question, what is the color of Krishna's body? The answer should be transcendental. We don't know. It is like the fresh monsoon cloud that is described in the scripture, but we have not seen it. We have no experience. It is like the Tamal tree, but we have no experience of it. They say the texture of the body of Krishna, when you go to the Tamal tree, the new leaf which has come out, it is very soft to touch. They say that was the texture of Krishna's body. So Srimati Radharani, whenever she sees a Tamal tree, she mistakes it for Krishna and she goes and hugs it. She thinks, I have forgotten the embrace of Sri Krishna. So now my life is fulfilled. Thus she remains immersed in pleasing Krishna, taking the tree in her arms. This is the consciousness of Srimati Radharani. When she is embracing Krishna, she is not doing that to enjoy Krishna. She is doing that to please Krishna. This is the difference between a pure devotee and a practicing devotee. A pure devotee, even when they are eating very nice Krishna Prasad, they are doing it for pleasing Krishna. That's why I often say, even a Mahaprasad Rasgulla can keep you back in this material world. How is the way in which you are relishing this prasad? If you are relishing the prasad just to enjoy it, bahut maja aayega, then that is not pure Krishna consciousness. Pure Krishna consciousness is to take the Rasgulla in your hand and meditate like this. Please take notes. This Rasgulla has touched the lips of Krishna. This Rasgulla has been made by the devotees of Krishna. This Rasgulla contains the saliva of Krishna. I am in this world which is mad for sense gratification. The samskar and the culture which I have received from many lifetimes is to do that sense gratification. My body is made of sense gratification. It is like a network of illusion, these senses. And day by day, I'm drowning in that network. And amongst all that, the tongue is a voracious network of illusion. Simply, I'm going to hell because of my tongue. But Krishna is so kind. I'm in a situation where there is no hope. I have been simply cursed to cry for the rest of eternity. But Krishna is so kind. I don't want to love Krishna. I just want to do sense gratification. But Krishna is so kind. He has sent me this Mahaprasad as well. He wants me to continue my sense gratification. But through that sense gratification, he wants me to uplift and become a pure devotee. Let me accept and honor this Rasgulla and feel the touch of Krishna in this Rasgulla. Let me experience Krishna consciousness. Let me become Krishna conscious simply by eating this. This consciousness is called Krishna consciousness. This is the way to eat Mahaprasad, and not the way we attack. That is not the right way.
And wherever we're eating, we can reflect it and we
Yes. Wherever you do, you have this meditation that this tulsi leaf is coming from the lotus feet of Krishna. This tulsi leaf is coming from that lotus feet which Mother Lakshmi never wants to leave. This tulsi leaf is coming from that lotus feet, the smell of which made 4 Kumaras into pure devotees. Now I have got that tulsi. Let me smell it and let me become Krishna conscious. Let me smell it daily. This consciousness should be there. So when Srimati Radharani is embracing Krishna, she is thinking, let me please Krishna. Not like this Kubja. You know that Kubja pastime, Mathura? Kubja wanted to enjoy Krishna. When Krishna performed the miracle on her body, when he held her chin and when he made her stand straight, and the hunchback went away and all the bodily deformities went away, she became a transcendently beautiful person. After that, she held the dhoti of Krishna, saying that I want to enjoy lusty affairs with you, come to my house. So this Kubja, she wanted to enjoy Krishna. She didn't want to serve Krishna. That's why Krishna didn't spend time with her. He told, I'll come later. Of course, Krishna is Satyavan. Whatever he says, he does. Later on, he went. But all he did was he took his lotus feet and he kept it on the breast of Kubja. That's all. That's all he did. And simply by that, Kubja became eternally satisfied. But she had no fortune which the gopis had or which Rukmini had or others consorts had. Because other consorts of Krishna wanted to serve Krishna, not enjoy Krishna. And amongst all these counterparts of Krishna, Srimati Radharani is the topmost. When Srimati Radharani sees, today's class is going on Srimati Radharani, less on Lord Chaitanya. But this is very important because Lord Chaitanya is all about the mood of Chaitanya. When Srimati Radharani sees Krishna going to other gopis, she cries. But that cry is not out of jealousy or enviousness. She cries thinking, will that other gopi be able to serve Krishna to his best satisfaction? Krishna deserves the best service. Will Krishna be taken care of? Just like, when our spiritual master goes to a different place where the devotees are not very much trained in Vaishnava etiquette and proper service, we feel bad. Right? Will our spiritual master be properly served? How much difficulties we will have to go through? Are we envious? We are happy that the spiritual master is going there. But we feel sad also. And how will he be taken care of? Similarly, when Radharani sees Krishna going to other gopis, which Krishna likes to go, she feels sad. But how much compromise Krishna will have to make? But therefore she cries. She is not envious. There is no trace of enviousness in that. So that Srimati Radharani's mind, Krishna is trying to understand. When a favorable breeze carries to her the fragrance of my body, she is blinded by love and she tries to fly in that breeze. So like that, Krishna is very humble. He always thinks his devotee is greater than him. So now he is thinking, even with hundreds of mouths, I could not express the transcendental pleasure Shri derives from my association. Seeing the luster of her complexion, I forget my own identity in her happiness. Again, mathematics. The happiness I feel when meeting Radharani is 100 times greater than the happiness I get from meeting others. And then Krishna is telling, considering this, I can't understand that some unknown mellow in me considering this, I can understand, not can't. Considering this, I can understand that some unknown mellow in me controls the entire existence of Srimati Radharani. I am always eager to taste the joy that Radharani derives from me. In spite of various efforts, I have not been able to taste it, but my desire is to relish that pleasure as I smell its sweetness. So this is the third reason. Formerly, I appeared in the world to taste the mellows, and I tasted the mellows. This is Krishna. Formerly, he came, Rasashekhar. He wanted to taste it, and he did taste that mellows. I taught pure devotional service that springs from the devotee's spontaneous love by demonstrating it with my pastimes. This is Krishna Leela. But these three desires of mine were not satisfied, for one cannot enjoy them in a contrary position. That means Krishna is telling, until I take the mood of a devotee, I cannot enjoy these three rasas, which my topmost devotee, Srimati Radharani, is enjoying. Unless I accept the luster of the ecstatic love of Sri Radhika, these three desires cannot be fulfilled. Therefore, assuming Radharani's sentiments and bodily complexion, I shall descend to fulfill these three desires. So these are the three internal, confidential reasons of Lord Chaitanya's descent as Lord Krishna's descent as Lord Krishna. And when Krishna is thinking like this, something happens. You see, at that time, Sri Advaita Acharya was earnestly worshipping him and loudly offering Ganges water and leaf and calling out to him. And then other activities happened and then he descended down. So just to summarize, I will go to the chapter summary which Srila Prabhupada has written, which will help us to summarize. The first reason or the first purpose why Lord Krishna descended as Lord Chaitanya is to relish the position of Srimati Radharani, who is the prime reciprocator of transcendental love of Krishna. Lord Krishna is the reservoir of transcendental loving transactions with Srimati Radharani. Prema Niketan. Prema Niketan means that place which contains all the prema. So Lord Chaitanya or Lord Krishna wanted to relish that position of Srimati Radharani where she is enjoying that prema. The Lord wanted to relish the loving mellow in the position of Srimati Radharani. This is the first reason. The second reason, sweetness. Lord Krishna wanted to understand how sweet he is, how much sweet he is. Radharani's attraction for Krishna's is sublime, and to experience that attraction and understand the unlimited transcendental sweetness of himself, he accepted the mentality of Radharani. This is the second reason. So the first reason is to experience the position of Srimati Radharani. The second reason is to experience the sweetness through the mentality of Srimati Radharani, his own sweetness. Krishna wants to understand himself through the position of Srimati Radharani. The first, he wanted to relish that. First reason. Second reason, he wanted to experience his own sweetness through the mentality of Srimati Radharani. And third reason is that Lord Chaitanya or Lord Krishna wanted to enjoy the unlimited bliss that Radharani was experiencing. And he was doing some mathematics also. The Lord thought that undoubtedly Radharani enjoyed his company and he enjoyed the company of Radharani. But the exchange of transcendental mellow between the spiritual couple was more pleasing to Srimati Radharani than to Sri Krishna. How much was the difference? 10 million times difference. So, it was not possible for Sri Krishna to enjoy in the position he could, Radharani felt more transcendental pleasure in the company of Krishna than he could understand without taking that position. But for Sri Krishna to enjoy in the position of Srimati Radharani was impossible because that position was completely foreign to him. So as long as Krishna remains in the position of God, he cannot understand what the devotees are experiencing. For that, he has to come in Bhakta Rupa. He has to come in the mood of a devotee, mentality of a devotee, outlook of a devotee. So therefore, accepting the emotions and the bodily luster of Srimati Radharani, he descended. So these are the three confidential reasons of Lord Krishna adventing as Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Okay. Are you happy after hearing this? Did it help you to understand how God thinks? We understand how our boss thinks. We don't understand how the society thinks. But all that is not important. What is important is to understand how God thinks. And we have got a glimpse into the mind of God. The more advanced we are in bhakti, the more sense all this will make to us. For some of us, it may make no sense. Yeah, something Prabhuji is telling, I'm not able to understand. But if we continue our chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and the more purity of conduct, behavior, purity of purpose we practice, the more we will experience the reality or the spiritual reality of these reasons which Krishna has for himself. These are some desires which Krishna is cultivating. We all cultivate some nonsense desires. But these are some desires which Krishna is cultivating and is ready to come to this material world and go through all the unnecessary things to experience that devotional service. So how important this must be for Krishna, just imagine. How important it must be that he left Golok Vrindavan and came amidst you and me to do this job. And while doing this job, Krishna is the supreme king. He can't be just hell-bent on focusing on his agenda. While he is always experiencing Krishna, while Krishna is always experiencing Krishna in the mood of Srimati Radharani, chasing his own object of love, parallelly and simultaneously what he's doing, he's chasing the atheists also. He's chasing the Mayavadis also. He's giving the love of Godhead to everyone. A king may be very busy in some matter, but anybody goes to meet him, they will get some reward. So Lord Krishna is very busy as Lord Chaitanya, trying to understand these three things. But parallelly, as he comes, everybody gets benefit. Everybody gets this love of God. Everybody comes to the level of understanding it. Imagine, is there any other scripture in the world like Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, which explains you what is the mind of God and what is the love of God and how Radharani is feeling and how Krishna is hankering to get that feeling? There is no other scripture. So we are very, very lucky that we have access to these things. Just before Gaur Purnima, let's try to understand how most merciful is Lord Chaitanya. Lord Krishna did not have these desires when he was doing Krishna Leela. He was not liberating everybody and anybody without seeing whether they are qualified or not. But Lord Chaitanya has that mood. How merciful they are. When you have a Radha Krishna deity in your center or temple, there is so much service which you need to do for them. You need to offer bhoga 6 times a day. And there is a standard set by ISKCON DT ministry. Before Mangalarti, you have to serve rasmalai, rasgulla, gulab jamun, sweets, barfi. All that standard is set. After Darshanarti, you have to serve at least 8 items. In lunch, minimum 16 items. Like that description, how much service you have to take care. But Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, Gaur Nitai, they have no expectations. Once I asked one devotee that if I want to keep Gaur Nitai deities, what do I need to follow? That devotee, he didn't say this out of contempt or disrespect, but he said this just to create a miracle in my heart so that I can able to understand the degree to which Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda are merciful. He told me that you can keep Gaur Nitai in a box. You can open the box once a day, make them stand, chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, few rounds in front of them, put them back in the box and leave them. All they want is that you come for some time in front of them and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. This is Gaur Nitai's mercy. Are you able to understand the degree to which they are merciful? And this is only possible because Srimati Radharani is in the picture now. On the birthday of Lord Krishna, Nand Maharaj arranged a big festival. And on his birthday, he used to give in charity. Many things. Prince, you know how Prince, you know how Prince stays. So many people were standing in line. Most of the people, they were qualified to accept offerings from Krishna. Most of the people had a patra or a bowl or something in which they can receive the offering of Krishna. But then there were a few people who did not have the patra. They did not have the qualification, or they did not have a bowl or some kind of an object in which they can receive the offering from Krishna. So Krishna told them, get the patra and come. And then later on, Srimati Radharani was seeing this, she commented that just because somebody did not have the patra, Krishna didn't give them. And then Srimati Radharani said, just because someone was not qualified, Krishna didn't give them. And when Krishna, when he heard this statement, he went crazy. He was crying with tears that how merciful is Srimati Radharani. She doesn't see who is qualified and who is not qualified. She wants to bless everybody. One day I should take up that mood. So this desire of Chaitanya Leela came in Krishna Leela only, where he wanted to understand how merciful is Srimati Radharani. And it is that, this whole concept of Lord Chaitanya not asking for surrender. This whole concept of Lord Chaitanya not seeing who is qualified, who is unqualified. How is this mood coming? Where is this mood coming from? Krishna doesn't have such a mood. Krishna says, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam statenu bhajami. The degree to which one surrenders to me, accordingly I will reveal myself. This is Krishna's mood, which is fair also. You cannot allow Ravan to come and sit in Goloka, which is fair. Krishna says, first you chant Hare Krishna, you get purified, you get free of lust, anger, greed, illusion, enviousness, and attachments. And then we'll see. Imagine if we bring a serial killer and make him sit in ISKCON Kanamangala, what's going to happen? Somebody will die. So the place of the serial killer or the pocket picker is there in the jail. Let them get purified, then they become qualified to come here. But Srimati Radharani's mood is something else. Her mood is whether somebody is qualified or not qualified. My dear Krishna, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You are the Paramatma in everybody's heart. You can give them the mercy. Why or not? So this whole Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradaya, Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Bhakti. This whole concept of Krishna giving Krishna Prem directly to everybody, whether they are qualified or not qualified, is coming from Srimati Radharani. That is why we say Chaitanya Leela is the sweetest Leela. more sweet than Krishna Lila. And while Lord Chaitanya is chasing the theists, he's constantly, while Lord Chaitanya, maybe on Gaur Lila, Gaur Purnima Day, I will describe this pastime where Lord Chaitanya converted 60,000 Mayavadi sannyasis into devotees of Krishna in Benares, who were the followers of Prakashananda Saraswati. While he's defeating Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya in Vedanta Darshan, while he's arguing with these followers of Prakashananda Saraswati, while he is listening to the conversations of Ramananda Raya, internally he is always relishing what Srimati Radharani is. So such is the greatness of Lord Krishna, and such is the infinite mercy of Lord Chaitanya. So with that, I would like to conclude today's session, in which we discuss the confidential reason for the appearance of Lord Krishna as Lord Chaitanya. Are there any questions, comments, or reflections?
I have one question. So,
First your name and then the question.
my name is Amrinder Yadav.
Amrinder Yadav.
Yes.
Are you coming for the first time today?
Yes.
Oh, very good. You came in a very nice time.
Yeah.
Tuesday is Gaur Purnima. Tuesday is Gaur Purnima, the appearance day of Lord Chaitanya. We request you to be there on Tuesday also. Many devotees are taking leaves. Most of them are taking half day, because in ISKCON, after Janmashtami, the biggest festival is Gaur Purnima.
On Tuesday.
On Tuesday.
Sorry.
Lord Chaitanya, about whom we are discussing, it is the appearance of Lord Chaitanya. You can ask your question.
So my question is like, what is the supreme force in this entire universe? Like, it has to be Lord Krishna, right?
Yes.
What we are saying.
Your question is, what is the supreme force? My answer is the supreme force in this entire universe, not just in this entire universe, but in all the universes, material and spiritual combined together, is devotional service, bhakti.
Material plus?
Spiritual.
I did not get this.
Yes.
Material plus?
There are material universes and there are spiritual universes. We are in a material world where there is birth, disease, old age, and death. When you go on the other side of the material universes, which is called as Vaikuntha or Golok Vrindavan, there is no birth, no disease, no death. In material universes, we have a material body made of earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and ego. But in spiritual world, we have a spiritual body. We all have three kinds of body: gross body, subtle body, and spiritual body. Gross body is that body which we can see, feel. People of different planets have different kinds of gross bodies. People on Earth, the Earth element is more. People on Sun, there are people on Sun, by the way, they have fire element more. People on Moon, they have the Moon element more, or the luster element more. So these are material bodies. There is a subtle body which is not seen, but it is there. That's why it's called subtle body. For example, as you're talking to me, I cannot understand what's there in your mind. I cannot understand how intelligent you are. Are you able to differentiate between what is right and what is wrong in the time of crisis? I don't know. Are you able to say no to your lusty desires? I don't know. But just because I can't see your intelligence doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. Therefore, that is the meaning of subtle body. It comprises of mind, intelligence, and ego. But the real form is the spiritual body. The spirit soul is covered by the subtle body and gross body. Liberation means you give up the subtle body, you give up the gross body, and go back home, back to Godhead from where you have come. Reincarnation means you give up the gross body, your subtle body, based on the desires which you have and the karmic reactions which you have. It takes you to the womb of another mother, which may or may not be of human species. This is called reincarnation. Now, coming back to your question, which is the biggest force in this universe? My answer is, considering the material universes, now you understand what is material universe, and considering the spiritual universes all put together, the highest or the biggest force is bhakti or devotional service to Krishna or God. Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, but even greater than Krishna is the name of Krishna. Even greater than the strength of Krishna is the process of rendering service to Krishna.
Now I have one more question. So let's say I have come to you, right? You explain me the exact reasons for what is the why Lord Krishna should be worshipped and why we follow him, right? Why we are the followers of Lord Krishna. Let's say if I go to someone else who is a devotee of Lord Shiva, they will also give the same logical reasons. That
First, they have to read Bhagavad Gita. The problem is people don't have time to read Bhagavad Gita. This is the serious problem in the society. I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to everyone. Everybody is intelligent and they can ask so many questions, but nobody can read them. There are 700 verses in Bhagavad Gita. People don't know. They think Lord Shiva is God. They think Brahma is God. They think Durga is God. They think Kali is God. They think Ganesha is God. They think Ayyappa is God. But first you read Bhagavad Gita. Read Bhagavatam and see what Lord Shiva is saying and whom is he meditating. Read Brahma Samhita to understand what Brahma thinks, who is the Supreme Lord. Yeah. For your reference, please go and read Bhagavad Gita as it is. If you don't have, you can pick up a copy. Chapter 7, shloka number 20, 21, 22, and 23. And chapter 9, shloka number 23, 24, and 25, where you will understand that God is one. His name is Krishna. But there are various demigods, Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Durga, Kali, Shiva, who are not in the position of God. They are very pious personalities who have been empowered with some powers to take care of the universal administration. But the supreme personality of Godhead is Krishna. This is the highest truth. This is what Bhagavad Gita says. This is what Vedas say. This is what Shastras say. This is what Puranas say.
I mean, even I have the same understanding.
Yes.
That's the reason
I have not finished my answer. Please, maybe when I finish, your questions will be subsided. Please let me answer your question. I'm trying to answer it. At least I'm making an attempt. So, when somebody worships Krishna, all other demigods are automatically worshipped. God is one. There are various demigods. When Krishna has told in the Bhagavad Gita, Mattah Parataram Na Nyat, there is no truth superior to me. When we see in the pastimes of Krishna how he can take someone back to God, which nobody else can do. When we see that Krishna has the potency of nullifying all sinful reactions one has done in millions and billions of lifetimes, which no one else can do. When we see the beautiful ways in which Krishna reciprocates with his devotees, which no other divine entity can do. When we see that when it comes to beauty, Krishna is the highest. When we see when it comes to strength, Krishna is the highest. When we see when it comes to money, wealth, Krishna is the highest. When we see when it comes to knowledge, Krishna is the highest. So we should not have a doubt who is God. We should understand the definition of God first. Aishwaryasya samagrasya viryasya yashashashriya jnana vairagya yoschaiva sannam bhagaitina. One who is most beautiful, most strong, most famous, most rich, and most intelligent, and at the same time most renounced, in such a way that nobody can equal or nobody can surpass, that person can be called as God. Lord Shiva is telling Krishna is God. Brahma is telling Krishna is God. Mother Durga is telling Krishna is God. Ganesha is telling Krishna is God. And Krishna is also telling that he is God. So there is no doubt actually. The doubt is in the minds of those people whose desires have been stolen away by material desires, whose minds have been stolen away by material desires. And they are not reading Bhagavad Gita. So if, my dear friend, if someone tells you that Ganesha is God, please ask them to read Bhagavad Gita. God is one. And there is no other God. It is our misfortune that this has not been taught to us. It is our misfortune. But lack of knowledge is not an excuse. Krishna says that those who worship the demigods, they are doing it avidhi purvakam. They are doing something which is not recommended. But there is a reason why Krishna allows it. For that, you can read the 7th chapter. After hearing this much, do you have any other questions? Thank you very much. So, I will just take 5 more minutes to take some reflections because we understand Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasana. So, reflections means Mananam, which will make this Shravanam permanent. So, if we can share something which we heard, not only it will be beneficial for me, but for everyone. Would you like to share some reflections, please? Now this is the time of testing. I heard so many things, but what did I take away? Yes, Mother, please.
Lord Chaitanya is not only requiring incarnation, but it is Krishna himself. It is in full potential.
Yes. So Lord Chaitanya is not just an ordinary incarnation, but it is Krishna himself in his full spiritual form. Very good takeaway. Thank you. Will you meditate on this? Yes. Any other takeaway? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Now, it may not be right or right.
Is that a question or a reflection? Okay.
If we have understood correctly.
I hope the question is related to the context discussed in the class.
Yes. So now everything is revolving around Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Radha.
Srimati Radharani.
Not body.
Yes.
I agree that.
Yes.
So, can I take it that Srimati Radha is also the integral part of Sri Krishna?
Yes, she is. I said in the beginning that Lord Krishna and Srimati Radharani, they are non-different.
This one is all.
Yes. So they are like one soul, 2 bodies. There is no two expansion. Not, yeah, it's basically an expansion. They are not different from each other. You can say Lord Krishna is the transcendental male and Srimati Radharani is the transcendental female. Why am I using the word transcendental? Transcendental means the whole conception that someone is a male and female is not there. But God, when he wants to relish the rasas as a Purusha, he is Krishna. And God, when he wants to serve the Purusha, he is Srimati Radha. Now, this does not mean that in reality or in actuality, in originality, God has no form. That doesn't. I'm not trying to say that. That is another conclusion which is not correct. The original form of God is Krishna, Shyam Sundar. And he has expanded himself as Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radharani is an expansion of Krishna only. However, she has a mood which pleases Krishna so much. So Krishna is mad behind his pure devotee. Did that give some clarity?
So we have a question here. I also heard in Vrindavan.
From whom?
From people in general. They also
Should we hear from?
Is that appropriate or not?
Okay, this is the question. I was about to entangle you and catch you in between. So you have heard from people saying Jai Shri Radhe. Yes. Yes, it is appropriate. However, we are the followers of Srila Prabhupada. Every sampradaya follows the mood of their acharya. When Srila Prabhupada would be walking in Vrindavan, people would tell him Radhe Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe. But he would always reply by saying Hare Krishna. The word Hare means Srimati Radharani and Krishna means Krishna. Gaudiya Vaishnavas or people of ISKCON, we don't like to see Krishna alone or Srimati Radharani alone. We want to worship the Yugal Kishore. That is our mood. That's why I often get little not very happy whenever I see single deity of Krishna standing and people worship him. Sometimes people have a single deity of Radharani and worship him. I don't like that. Because that is not the mood of our Acharya. We cannot tolerate the Yugal Kishore being separate from each other. We cannot imagine an existence where Radha and Krishna are separate. So therefore, Hare Krishna. When we want to take the name of Krishna, the name of Radharani should be there. When we want to take the name of Radharani, the name of Krishna should be there. This is our mood. However, there is nothing wrong by saying Radhe Radhe or Jai Shri. Those people, they have taken shelter of Srimati Radharani. There's nothing wrong. But we take shelter of the couple, Radha and Krishna. This is my limited understanding. I am not a acharya sitting here. But this is what I have been able to detect by the behavior of senior devotees and the conversations. I never heard Srila Prabhupada saying Radhe Radhe or Jai Shri. He always said Hare Krishna. So I choose to follow Srila Prabhupada. Because even if I'm wrong, Prabhupada will take care of me. But I'm not sure whether I can contact Srimati Radharani. I don't know who is Krishna, I don't know who is Radharani much. But I know who is Prabhupada. And I'm connected to him and I'll follow him. This is my consciousness. Now, what you choose to follow is your desire and your personal decision. Okay, any other reflections? Yes.
Lord Chaitanya,
Lord Chaitanya, yeah, Guru is there. His name of his Guru is Ishwar Puri. In whichever pastime the Lord has done, he makes sure that he accepts the spiritual master. As Krishna, he went to Sandipani Muni in Ujjain. There is a very beautiful temple in Ujjain. It's called Ujjain. You should go there sometimes. Similarly, Lord Chaitanya also accepted initiation from Ishwar Puri in Gaya. So you should go to Gaya also. Very beautiful Vishnupad temple is there. I want to go to Gaya very soon sometime. In fact, my spiritual master is very soon going to go to Gaya. He's doing a safari, a spiritual safari where he's taking many devotees through. There is a forest where Lord Chaitanya did some pastimes. They are going there. They are going to place where Lord Chaitanya got initiated. They are going to the place where Mother Sita took birth. That is going on. I have a desire to go.
And make it arrange here like that.
It's not possible. That only acharyas can do. So, coming to your question, he has a spiritual master, and very beautiful description is there. Ishwar Puri used to visit the house of Lord Chaitanya when he was a small child. And Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, for the first 18 or 19 years of his pastime, he was exhibiting the mood of a scholar. He was known as Nimai Pandit. And he used to defeat everybody in scholastic arguments, scholarly argument. When people used to see Nimai Pandit, great scholars, when they used to see Nimai Pandit coming from somewhere, they used to turn away and change their path. There was a great person who had the benediction from Mother Saraswati that whenever he will speak, Saraswati will personally recite on his tongue. His name was Keshav Kashmiri. He was from Kashmir. The people used to call him Digvijay Pandit. Means wherever he used to go, he used to overpower all the other Pandits in that area. Lord Nimai Pandit defeated him in an argument. But when Ishwar Puri used to come in front of Nimai Pandit, he used to become very humble. So the Acharyas explained that Lord Chaitanya gave a sign that in future he will be the spiritual master. So when the father of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Jagannath Mishra, he passed away. So he went to Gaya to do Pinddan. At that place, he met his spiritual master, Ishwar Puri. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was staying in a small room. Last time when I went to Gaya, I tried to find that room. I could not find. People are not able to remember. But we should certainly go there, stay and try to find out everything. He was cooking some rice for himself to eat. At that time, Ishwar Puri, who happened to be in Gaya, found out that Nimai Pandit or Gauranga Mahaprabhu is there. So he came to meet him because he used to meet him when he was a child. As soon as Lord Chaitanya came out of the kitchen to meet Ishwar Puri, he left the cooking. This was another indication that whenever you see your spiritual master, you should leave everything and go and worship and offer obeisances to your spiritual master. So as soon as he came out of the kitchen, Mother Lakshmi entered the kitchen. That I will take care of the cooking. And at that point of time, the time had come when the Sankirtan movement had to be started. So in order to start the Sankirtan movement, one needs to chant the holy names of the Lord. And one cannot successfully chant the holy names of the Lord until they are initiated by a bona fide spiritual master. Now, Lord Chaitanya is the spiritual master of all spiritual masters. He does not need a spiritual master, but just to set a good example, he immediately went to Ishwar Puri and expressed that you please initiate in the chanting of the holy names of the Lord. And Ishwar Puri says that when I am seeing you, I am feeling the same happiness which I get when I take darshan of Krishna. So I am sure that you are Krishna himself. And just to deliver me, you have come as a disciple to me, begging for initiation. And Lord Chaitanya smiles. Do you understand? So in this way, he accepts initiation from Ishwar Puri in Gaya. And when he accepts the initiation, he gets this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Actually, in one place I have read that Lord Chaitanya only tells this mantra in the ears of his spiritual master once. Is this the mantra you are going to give me? Like that, asking. And then he hears and he understands, yes, if this is what you want, this is the mantra I will give. So some acharyas explain first he initiated, then he got initiated. That is not with Ishwar Puri, but with the Sannyas Diksha Guru. But yes, he got this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And then when he started chanting Gaya, Gaya was the first place where Lord Chaitanya started chanting, where he exhibited his devotional rasa, or the mood of a devotee. He went crazy. Then he came back to his spiritual master asking, Kiba mantra dila gusai, kiba tara bal. Japite japite man huile pal. Like that he was telling that. What kind of mantra you've given me? What is the strength? I'm not able to understand. When I chant Hare Krishna, I don't feel hungry, I don't feel sleepy. Sometimes I laugh, sometimes I shout, sometimes I dance, sometimes I cry. Have I gone mad or not? So at that time, Ishwar Puri folds his hand and he says that you have attained the spiritual perfection of the human form of life. Although he was not a human being, he was God himself, but he speaks like this. And simply by initiating you, my life has become successful. So I order you that you go on chanting and dancing the holy names of the Lord. So in this way, this is the pastime. Then initiation means you should give some Guru Dakshina. So he goes inside and he brings all the rice and some nice food items which he had not cooked. He was cooking only rice. But when he goes inside the kitchen, so many more items are cooked and kept. Mother Lakshmi has done. And whatever was cooked, rice and everything, he brings out and feeds it to his spiritual master. And after that, nothing is left for him to eat. Another lesson. One should give everything he has to the Guru. And let the Guru decide how one will be maintained and sustained. But then again, when he gave everything, Mother Lakshmi cooked food. So I'm just telling you the pastime where Lord Chaitanya was initiated. So he does have a spiritual master. Will you try to have a spiritual master? Yes. If God is trying, you should also. Okay, we will stop our discussion now. We have another event which is coming up. Thank you very much. We are trying to prepare our consciousness for the advent of Gaur Purnima, which is on Tuesday, 7th. We have to fast till moonrise. That means the celebrations will begin late in the afternoon and go on till moonrise, followed by fast break. So we invite all the devotees to come for that. It is recommended if you can take a leave on that day. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Janma karma chame divyam evam yoveti tatvatah tyaktva deham punarjanneti mameti swach. One who factually tries to understand the divine nature of my appearance and my activities, they will never take birth again. So today we tried to factually understand the internal reasons of the appearance of Lord Chaitanya. And on the day of Gaur Punya, we'll try to understand more, serve more. And simply by doing this one single activity, we will never take birth again. We'll go back home, back to God. So therefore, I'm recommending make out time for things which are important in life. Gaur Purnima is the most important thing in life. Do you agree? Will you be there? Thank you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.